Overall Dasher rating continues to raise the bar more and more and more for Dashers. Because used to, when this thing rolled out, we were looking at more like the point system. Overall Dasher rating for platinum status, it would be 75 to 100 points. But in my market, I started out with 80 points. I know some of you all started out with even 85 points. And yet, don't you just think that's just a little bit excessive? Because in my opinion, yeah, it can be a little tough because you're really going to have to strategize how many points are you going to have for each level so you can get up to 85 points. Because the crazy thing is when I started out with this ride along just this past Saturday, I was like live talking with you all and we're just going. And I talked about, hey, I started out as platinum status. I had like 84 points to begin my shift, ended up with like 83 points. And just those few hours later, I was actually no longer platinum because they upped it on me from 80 to 85 points, which was like, it blew my mind. So I was like, how did I lose platinum? What in the world? So I tried to investigate right there on my live. When you still see it there, if you want to replay that, it's fully unedited. And I'll tell you what, it just threw me for a loop. Then I just kept on, I went to my metrics. I was like, okay, what am I going to have to do to get to platinum? Because these here are my current stats. I do have 83 points out of 100. Acceptance rating at 51%. Completion rate, on-time rate, quality rate, all 100%. Customer rate 5.0 and 48 deliveries in the last 30 days. That's where I've been struggling for, I would say probably a couple months now. Well, actually about 3 months because I've been doing other apps and testing those things out. But here, I don't have like any points for this metric at all to even help me at all. Now, if I got where I used to, I'd be over 100, maybe even 200 deliveries, and I'll have like 4 or 5 points. But that's been a while. So what I did, I just kind of strategized, what in the world am I going to have to do to get this thing back on track where I can actually get back to platinum, if I even choose to do so? Because raising this acceptance rate is not as easy as it used to be, because ever since this overall Dasher rating came in, and I was actually at around 75%, and it just crushed me on down to the 40s. I've been pretty much just right there in no man's land between like 45 and 55. Because when I get up just so far, a lot of bad orders, upside down orders, and it kind of brings me back down. That's where I'm back at that little 51%, because I just refuse to take those upside down orders. Even on my live, when I was kind of rolling a little bit, then I got offers for like, it was like $2.48 for over 10 miles. So I'm like, who in their right mind would do anything like that? That is just completely ridiculous and absurd. Then I turned around and got another offer that was completely upside down as well. It's like $4 for 8 or 9 miles. I'm just like, goodness. But I tell you what, but when it rains, it absolutely pours. Then every now and then I'll get thrown a bone a little bit and get a decent offer. So let's go ahead and move a little bit further about, like, if I'm going to get to 85 points, let's really examine this acceptance rating and let's examine this customer rating. Now, this is just an example where I was, or when I was like 70%. Of course, you just saw that I'm no longer that, but at this time I was like 25 points when I was at 70%. So since I'm at 51% currently, I actually have 18 points exactly in this metric. So once I start falling, as soon as I hit 49%, I'm going to go down another point to 17 points. So it's going to make my deliveries in 30 days just that much more important. But where can I actually survive at? So I'm thinking like I'm going to have to pretty much keep my acceptance rating at least at 50%. So I can at least hold that 18. If I can somehow get close to 60 just to be in like a comfort zone, I could probably try that. But if I keep getting those bad offers, I'm probably going to have to ditch the overall Dasher rating just to begin with. It just won't matter to me anymore. It just has to be obsolete. It just won't have to forget about it. And I'll just treat this DoorDash just kind of like how I do with Uber Eats, and just until I get good orders, I'll just go ahead and take them. And what's so crazy is, like, this has been my main app for over 2 years, doing over 95% of my deliveries on one platform. Even when I first started, I was doing this so much, it's pretty much like a full-time job for me. Not only was I doing 40 hours a week, but I was doing 40 hours plus. I was putting some overtime hours in this. So let's look at these points right fast when it comes to the last 30 days. Now, at this point, I had 56 orders, and I was right there just having like a point. But now I'm under that. I am in the low. I have like no points at all. So I'm really going to have to look at myself. I'm going to have to say I would have to be over 100 deliveries in the last 30 days just so I can get to 3 points. Because once I get to 3 more points, I'll be at 86 points. And that right there would be my bare minimum. Anything else that actually cushioned me, well, I guess I pretty much need to raise the acceptance rate if possible. But here goes another flip side of this, because this is actually with having completion rating, on time rating, quality rating, customer rating, top notch. You can't get, I have this to the max. There is nothing else higher I can get. There's no extra credit here. I'm just like, if even one of those falls down to 99%, I'm dropping down another 1 or 2 points. And we all know about that on-time rating is its own little demon. Just the other day, even when it was like during this little snow and ice storm that we just had, it still showed that I was late to somewhere. I was like, well, duh, we got snow and ice here. What the heck? But yet I was able to dispute it. Took about 45 seconds to a minute, and I was good to go again. So, and I got my 100 points back, as you can see. But honestly, I just think that this bar is a little too high for being 85 points. Let me know in the comment box, if you're a Platinum Dasher, do you struggle of actually maintaining 85 points? Or if you're at 80 points, do you struggle with that? And I know there's going to be some people who say, I don't struggle at all. I don't even try to even get the points. Hey, more power to you. And you might just be onto something. Because even with platinum status of getting this like platinum offer boost, and I have noticed I've been getting offers a lot quicker than I ever used to than ever before, because sometimes I might just be walking back to the car and getting an offer. They're not always good or great, but I am getting an offer, and I don't always take them either. The offer has to make sense. And I'm not going to go in too big of detail of what orders to take, what offers not to take, because I've covered that in so many different videos. But even as you look here with the other rewards, which is the top priority for high paying offers, priority access to large orders, and notice you don't see catering orders anymore. Even though I think it's been about maybe a good 3-ish weeks since I haven't even seen a catering order personally, but I have been doing other apps as well. So, but when I have been on DoorDash, I've been out around that lunchtime where I should be seeing those type of offers. So I'm still a little surprised I haven't seen at least one catering order. And the other elephant in the room that you might see right here is you don't see the Dash Now, because in my market, I don't have the Dash Now anymore. Dash Now has passed away, and now everybody here can Dash Now instead if you're not platinum. Now, if you're platinum, you'll still see just Dash. But if you're anything under that, you just want to see Dash Now instead, and you also schedule. But I want you to see something that is right above that where it says average offer wait time. This is the same exact day when I fell to gold. This is the time that it was given me. It had the 97 minutes slashed out, and for gold status, it said 68 minutes. Now, I wasn't in my normal market. I was just right outside. But in this area, since I entered my dash, I actually saw the effects of how bad it was there. But hold on. Let me show you this. It was probably about another 5 minutes later, and I went back to it, and I thought this was weird. Then it had like 102 minutes slashed out. Then it said 1 minute. So that was the wait time as a gold dasher. So I'm just like, I just went from 68 minutes to 1 minute. And I'm just like, okay. But either way, the story about this is the overall dasher rating point system here and how they continue to just raise the bar to even get to silver status. At least in my market, it is 55 points to 74 points, gold status 75 to 84, and platinum is 85 plus. So it's all going to come down to is not really of how bad do you want it, but if this is actually going to be worth it. Because if you don't see the offers that's actually good and high paying, it's not going to be about how bad you want it, but it's just going to be about what offers are in your area. Hopefully you're in an area where platinum status doesn't even matter to even begin with, or any of these other tiers, because a lot of your orders are just good and high paying anyhow. If you're in a blessed market like that, or you get peak pay a lot in your area, so that could be an extra good bonus, a plus. But if you're just kind of like an average market or a below average market where you don't see a whole lot of tips, you might just want to be choosy, because I wouldn't recommend taking anything for like that order that I received, like that $2.48 for 10 miles. No way. Run away. Quick. $4 for 6, not worth it. Now, on a recent ride along where you've seen like me take an offer like this, and some of you thought I was taking like a offer that's basically $1 per mile, but I'm just like, I just dropped off an order that was like 7 miles away. I immediately got another offer in my zone that if I was actually still positioned there, it was only going to be 3.5 miles. And with my platinum offer boost, I'm going to see these and get these a lot faster no matter where I'm at. So I'm glad that I received this. And I had to think and strategize, like, wait a minute, I am miles away from any restaurant. Where I see this restaurant at right there, that is one of the closest restaurants I could actually get to. And I knew that. I knew no matter what, I was going to have to travel dead miles, which is at least 6 miles at the minimum. So I said, ooh, this is actually $10.75 for like 3.5 miles, because I had to go there anyways. This was just a positioning order, because where I was at, it was definitely no man's land. And if it wasn't getting paid $18 and change for this, I probably wouldn't have took that offer that took me out there. But for the $18 and change, taking me like 30 minutes, I was like, all right, I'll take that 18 and change, get right back, take that 10.75, turn it around, and I'm at close to $30 an hour. And this was a shift where I actually did pretty well, and I even averaged around that $28-29 an hour. And yes, I had some peak pay on this day. I think this is the day I actually got $4.50 peak pay due to this winter storm that we just came out of. But hey, money's money. But just like this order, I also received an order like this, $9.50, 5.7 miles. I still have dead miles where I have to go regardless. So making it back to my restaurants and where I'm going to be sitting at anyways, it makes some mileages and some offers don't look as bad as it actually seems. Because this $9.50 was more like just under 3 miles. Even seeing just like the $9.50, 5.7 miles, it still doesn't look like a terrible offer. It's not a $2 plus miles ratio. If you want to calculate everything, then you're looking at like somewhere just above $1.75 per mile ratio. And I'm still right there in my market. However, I hope you receive value out of this video. And if you would, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and see me in the next video.